Lost Art with Andrew Cox, retired Master Gunnery Sergeant. thelostart.podbean.com. Get some merchandise and help support the podcast in getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. Now on all major podcast platforms. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be a guest, tell your veteran story, discuss your veteran business or organization. Email The Lost Art with Andrew Cox at gmail.com. Andrew Cox, a Till Valhalla Project Ambassador. See the project story at tillvalhallaproject.com. Thanks for tuning in. Please enjoy the podcast that's giving a voice to our veterans. The Lost Art with Andrew Cox.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Podcast, a podcast giving a voice to our veterans. I'm your host, Andrew Cox, and today we're having a fireside chat, but we're also live on TikTok, so this is very interesting. But if you're enjoying the podcast, and go to the Lost Art website, that's the lostart.podbean.com. Go check it out, see what we got going on. There is a merchandise tab. Click on that merchandise tab, go in there, get you a cool hat, a shirt, a mug, something. Help support us in getting our veteran voices out for all to hear. Also, a big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project. They're out there doing amazing things, giving honor plaques, those types of things. And if you can support them in any way, please do so. Go to tillvalhallaproject.com. All right, with that, I obviously have Mike here with me, and then I have Lynnwood as well. So, Mike, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. Glad I could be on the podcast. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it or not. I'm sitting here. I got two phones here trying to multitask and having technical difficulties here. So,
oh, it's okay. We are too.
Right? Yeah.
It's all good.
It's good.
Lynnwood. So,
what's up, AJ?
How are you doing?
I'm good. I can't figure out this echo because my phone, the Zoom one is muted, but I'm gonna roll with it. But I'm doing good. Doing good.
Awesome. So Lynnwood, you were on the podcast before and you told your story.
Yes.
So obviously Marine, you had some interesting times while you were in. You tried to go recon and those types of things, but eventually, you got out. You're playing music now, and you are all over the place. It is amazing to see all the stuff that you do, especially on TikTok. You're a big TikToker, and here we are on TikTok. Shout out to you guys out there.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, it's a pretty amazing thing. So tell me a little bit about what you got going on there, man.
So, this echo is killing me, bro. I came to TikTok because Meta canceled me, so I've been on TikTok. And TikTok is hard. I'm still growing my base and trying to figure this whole thing out. But music has been a blessing, man. I love doing it. I love playing. I love working. So I love it. Every part of it.
Yeah. Well, you're on there selling the heck out of your stuff. But what I really like is when you go live and you're like at a show and you're doing your looping and stuff like that. Man, that is pretty cool stuff.
Thanks, man. I'm new to it. This is all kind of learning to loop and play all this stuff technically is new to me because I'm used to touring and playing in front of people live with the band. But right now you got to do what you got to do. And that's what I'm doing. Trying to stay active.
Yeah, very much so. And correct me if I'm wrong, you're playing at least like 3 or 4 times a week?
Yes. And that's a big thank you to Noah. Noah has really helped me out as far as my music right now. Because back in the day I was touring and playing all over the country in a pretty established band, and COVID hit and it kind of destroyed all that. And thankfully Noah here has been able to help me out and pick me up.
Yeah, for sure.
I hear the echo. I hear it, dude.
I don't.
Okay,
I have my phone turned all the way down, so I don't. It's not there. I don't know.
Was the echo there before I joined?
No. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it was me coming in. It caused it to.
No, I had to turn the volume down, and I lost you on the Zoom, Lynnwood. You'll be back. I see him on the TikTok. He's over there trying to figure stuff out. But I had to turn my phone volume all the way down. So I don't even know if they can hear me on TikTok. Lynnwood, can y'all hear me on TikTok? Yeah, I don't. I'm getting nothing from Lynnwood right now. I don't know. Oh, it's because my phone is turned down. Let me turn it up. All right, now say it. Now you can hear me. Yeah, but I had to turn my volume up. See, that's where we're running into the issue. So let me find my Zoom. I lost my Zoom. Yeah, well, I just turned the volume on the phone all the way down, so I couldn't hear it through the speaker. I did disappear. I can't find the Zoom call. Yeah, you got out. I think you got to log back in. Look at there, Michael McNanny has joined us on the TikTokers. He's on TikTok right now too.
I don't post anything though. There's nothing there really. So.
All right.
And this is just good to learn because it's going to work out the case.
Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, I just saw you popped up on there.
Okay, so you can't hear me
not on the Zoom meeting, no.
So when I turn the Zoom, when I turn the can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. So the echo is coming through my phone. I have the volume all the way off.
But it's still coming?
It's still coming. It's still coming through it. Let me see.
So is your excuses for the technical difficulty? We'll figure it out eventually here. If I
turn off
a phone and then another device for the Zoom?
No, I'm just using my phone.
Oh, that's probably why. I don't know if it'll work like that.
Oh.
But I don't know that for sure. I'm just saying.
I'm using another device for my TikTok, right? So the TikTok's taken care of right here.
Yeah.
But I'm using this this phone for the Zoom meeting, but it won't allow me to turn off the speaker unless I mute it.
That's weird.
Which is weird. So if I can figure out a way to cover this up so no one can TikTok and hear me, it would be you can hear it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's carry on.
All right, we're gonna carry on then. Hopefully they can all hear me through the TikTok. You heard me through TikTok.
I hear you perfect. TikTok is perfect. Like I hear everything great.
Very nice. Can you turn your camera on the?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it on.
All right, cool. All right, we're back. Yeah, kind of. You still hear the echo? It's driving you crazy.
Yeah, a little bit. You're not echoing. It's my voice.
Both of you were coming through clear on TikTok. So,
but you know what I can do? I got an idea.
Okay.
Stand by. Carrie, talk real quick. I'm gonna do something.
All right, sounds good. How you doing, Mike?
So I was turning the volume down on my phone because you guys were talking over there.
Oh yeah.
I didn't want to go blah, 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 blah. I'm doing good.
It's strange to hear the echo. I agree. So luckily I just
it's agitating.
Yeah. We got a couple of people that have jumped in on here. We'll see. There's Louis, Ashley, John Rodriguez. I don't know how to tell if anybody's actively in there. I don't know how to see that. But thanks guys for joining. We're doing a podcast here. Lynn was trying to figure out some stuff on his end, and then we're going to jump into it. But so you're not working, or you're just kind of working to?
Well, I'm doing computer work, and I've got online training I got to do, and we're getting to the end of the month. We go. My job, we go to customers. If I have to use parts off my truck, I have to do work orders and have to be in by the end of the month and take out inventory, and they're not out. Then even though I've used the part, technically the company, even if I wait till, going into November, we end up paying taxes on that part.
Yeah.
And it's not our part anymore at that point. So
holy cow.
We've got to do all that. It's all things you don't ever think about. You're like, what's the big deal? But when it was finally explained to me, it's like, okay. You don't really realize it.
I guess you have to have that in order to get paid and all that stuff. So
the overhead on when you look at things, it's like until you're paying taxes on a part you've already paid for and been taxed on when you bought it. That's the American way. So
that taxes is one thing that I just don't understand.
Check.
You get taxed on your paycheck. You get taxed when you go to the store. Everything you do, you get taxed. You want to own a home, you get taxed. It's ridiculous.
And at the end of you get taxed on a paycheck to begin with, and they turn around and tax you again on it when you want to. When you want to spend it, when you want to.
You'd think you'd only have to pay taxes one time. I don't know.
There's got to be a way to sort it out.
It ends up tax wise. If you added up all the taxes that you pay in a month, how much do you think you're paying in taxes?
Oh, it depends on how much what you make, to your home taxes, to property taxes, to how many times you go to the grocery store, what the cost of food and all that is now. So
yeah, it's ridiculous.
You go out and eat, it's ridiculous when you look at that, even that. And then even people are taxed. That's Trump's thing, talking about it. And I don't understand. I haven't really got into it enough to say I'm educated, not completely understand, but tips are taxed. It's
taxed.
Well, that's what I don't that's what I don't understand. If they're saying me tipping, the money I'm tipping is being taxed, or the receiver of the tip is being taxed on the tip for what they received at that point. And that's what I think it is.
I wonder if that's because if you put it on your credit card, because that's how most people pay.
It could be.
But if
it's probably
tip in cash, are they going to, assuming you weren't not going to get hit on it. I mean, it's cash from one person to another.
Yeah. Well, as you as the giver of the tip, you're already taxed on that $20 bill.
Yeah.
So if you're giving it to somebody else at that point, and that's why, a lot of, I've noticed in this area, a lot of people are starting to go back to, cash only, as far as like construction work or, small work or lawn work and stuff like that. They're like, no, they're like,
you get it? Figure
cash
it out.
only.
I got it.
What was it?
I had to, oh crap. I got it. I have a set of headphones, Bluetooth, I connected to this phone. So it's not as bad as before, but I can still hear it.
Yeah, your volume's a little low on that as well, on the Zoom part.
Musicians.
That's because I connected these and it's coming through it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Anyway.
Just put them in the other room.
All right. I'm just gonna jump off of TikTok and go to the Zoom.
Say that one more time.
I'm gonna jump on the Zoom call. Let me switch things around.
Okay, yeah, do what you gotta do, man.
I'm gonna do what you're doing. Stand by.
Yeah. We'll still be here talking about taxes probably. So
Roger that.
Yeah, I think the whole cash thing, we need to start carrying cash around. Because there for a long time we weren't really carrying the cash and stuff like that. Well,
that's the way the banks wanted it, and that's really, there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there on, we're going to a currency less, system where it's all card. Nobody carries cash anymore.
Yeah, and when you go to banks and you do all that stuff, everybody sees, or at least the banks, right? They can see.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is better for me. I'm gonna have to do TikTok with this one, so that I'm gonna rejoin you there.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome. I think that's all we had to do was get this live thing figured out.
For the TikTokers, we're recording a podcast. We ran into some technical difficulties. This is the first time that we've tried to do TikTok with doing a recording for the podcast at the same time. So,
okay.
I hope you guys out there are enjoying our banter back and forth, and hopefully you can hear it all.
I'm I'm getting this lined up.
I bet I know who knows how to fix the problem.
It's not this guy.
We all know him. It's probably Noah Peterson. He's probably like,
bet.
you idiots.
I bet.
If he's watching, he's like, oh my God.
Okay. I'm gonna just get there we go. This is coming together. I just gotta find you again on TikTok, and then we'll be rolling. I had to disconnect my audio from this thing. So let me get
I see.
But it's easier like you're doing
Here,
Zoom on one, and I'm doing there it is. Awesome. Got you.
All right.
All right. Okay. I think we got it.
Look at that.
So now I got to remember when we do this, I got to go production through the Zoom and just kind of, I've been trying to figure out how to throw two different audio streams right to TikTok and then Instagram or Facebook when we do live. But I don't think they make a splitter like that, like a splitter to split the signal. Anyhow, all right, back on it. I feel better now. Thank you for your patience. All right.
You thought you were going crazy.
Yes.
Yourself twice.
Yeah. Real quick, I have to break out at 11. I'm taking all my kids to vote today, and so at about 11, I'm gonna have to maybe a little before then. All right, right on.
Yeah,
all right, let's go. Let's do this again. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, but we're good.
We're recording, man. We're good. Wait, let's just keep on going. How's that sound?
Do it. I'm good. I'm ready.
All right. So now tell me a little bit about your kind of history with your music, right? So once you got out of the Marine Corps, what kind of happened and to progress where you are now?
So I was always playing music as a young kid. I wasn't good though. I wanted to play music. I didn't have any musicians in my family that I was around. So there was really no one around to influence me except I had an uncle that loved music. He was a 70s rocker, stoner guy, and he was just all about live shows and music. And he dabbled in guitar, and he kind of I'd watch him, but I never had any type of instruction. I started playing music in church, as a young teenager, and then when I got saved, like the biggest moment and change in my life was when I got saved and gave my heart to Jesus. I felt like God wanted me to be in the music ministry. So I was just playing music in church, and then I joined the Marines, and in the Marines, I still played. When I got to my first, my MOS school, which was a year-long school at Fort Belvoir, I bought a guitar. I bought this it was a lot of money for me because I was a private at the time. And I would practice, and my first wife was so jealous of it. This is my I don't know if if every Marine is divorced, but my first marriage, my first wife hated me playing the guitar. Like she hated it. And at one time I was practicing, and she made this comment like, "You touch that guitar more than you touch me." And I had to prove my love to her, so I destroyed the guitar.
Oh, no.
I love you. That thing, I had a mental breakdown, I guess, and I destroyed that guitar. And then I stopped playing until I got to Japan, and then I picked up the guitar again, and I was playing in the barracks with my friends, hanging out. And when I was in Japan, I was at a crossroads. I wanted to be a career Marine. Like my whole life up until that point was I wanted to be this badass chesty puller. I think every Marine, like, to be honest, man, every Marine is like that.
Yeah.
There's not a Marine that joins that doesn't want to do some amazing things and kill bodies and save lives. Every Marine, and that's why I'm on this whole thing. Every Marine deserves credit, whether you're a recon Marine or a freaking admin. You freaking signed up, and your heart was right, Yeah. And so when I was gonna get out, I didn't fulfill the dream I had, but I prayed really hard about it, and I just felt like the Lord was saying, "Get out." And so I went to Bible college. I was playing music in Bible college. I got kicked out of Bible college because of my first wife. It was kind of weird. And then I can't blame her. It's my fault, but she's to blame, I think. But and at that point when I left Bible college, I'd already started playing in a rock band, and by the grace of God, I had a showcase with a record label, and they signed my band out of Nashville, and it was a strange beginning,
Yeah.
because I've always been fortunate enough to like not be very good at something, but do well at it. Like when I was in the Marines, I remember being in boot camp and I was thinking, I'd be standing at attention and I'd be like, man, I'm in boot camp. How'd they let me in? And then, wow, I graduated boot camp. How did I graduate? Man, and it was kind of like, you just are surprised. Like,
Yeah.
made it this far. Wow. And so, when I got my first deal was with the Christian record label, the Christian record company. And, I was touring, doing well, and I just felt a lot of conviction. I felt like I was selling my faith. I felt like I was expecting people to buy my albums because I was a Christian, and I didn't like that. It felt bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I love to perform. I love to do that stuff, but it felt like I could walk into a church and make $1,000 and sell, 20 t-shirts just because I'm a believer. And that didn't sit right with me. But then that's where my career changed from being in a Christian rock band playing in churches to joining forces with some other Christians who were Christians that were musicians. And we said, no, we're not going to be a Christian band. We're going to be a freaking rock band. And then things just kind of took off from there with that situation. And I think it's because we were abandoned to the music. We felt music was God-given. So whenever we performed, we would just be like on the floor. We would just balls to the wall, everything we had, all out show. And we did it because we wanted to honor God, but we also did it because we wanted to bring good music to people. And that's kind of the direction we went. And that's been the path I've been on ever since. So, and it's been cool. It's been hard. It's been it's not an easy thing. Many are called, but few are chosen. It's a tough thing. It's a tough job. I've been fortunate enough to make a living. I'm not rich, but I'm comfortable. I have a great family. My wife doesn't have to work. She's just here with me but she wants to work, but she doesn't have to. We're just blessed.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, talk to me a little bit about the, being a Christian and being in the rock scene has got to be a interesting take, right? Especially if you're on tour, you're going places, everybody wants to party and do all the crazy stuff. How difficult was that, or was it easy?
It was, I think it wasn't too hard for me in a sense that I'd already been a Christian for a while and I had a really good foundation. I had good people around me. It was just my bandmates that I would be on tour with were very, they weren't like, we started off on the up and up, but then as time went on, you get tested, your values get tested. And I've been around some good people that were Christians, and then I've watched them morph into something that I don't think they would have ever wanted to be when they first started out.
Yeah.
And I seen my bandmates, turn from just turning to alcoholics, womanizers, and then every time I'm in a different city, they'd want to go to strip clubs. But I was already akin to that because in the Marine Corps, I was on fire for God. And every Friday, my unit would be like, we're going to go to the lake and barbecue, and then we're going to go to strip club. And I'd never went. I wouldn't even drink with my unit. And I think that kind of made me like an outcast because I wasn't really into that. I just wanted to serve God and be a Marine. I wanted to serve God and be a musician. And so on tour, you get tested because I was a married touring musician with a wife and kids. And you get tested because, you're there. But it's not always in the form of a woman. It's funny because people think it's sex. It's all sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It could be in a temptation can come in another area like pornography, or just secretly, being on tour and I could secretly sneak out if I wanted to. But it was all these opportunities are there, but you have to really dig down and like, no, okay, I'm not just doing this for the looks. I'm doing this because this is what I really believe. I really believe the Holy Spirit is with me. I really believe God is watching me. So that has been a conflict. You know, there's been times where my bandmates, we get offered shows in LA. There's clubs, there are strip clubs that book rock bands, and it's a popular thing. And we signed we signed a deal with Universal Records. It was Universal EMG Fontana was the label. So it was EMG was a subsidiary of Universal Records Fontana, and we signed this deal with them. And man, we were in LA with Jay Baumgartner, and he's one of the biggest producers in the world. He produced Korn, he produced POD, No Doubt, every major rock band. In his main band was Papa Roach. And we're in LA with Jay Baumgartner in his studio. He's coming to our rehearsals. He's fixing to produce our new record. And he has a band that he's been, I guess, grooming to be huge. And they're called Cruise. The band was called Cruise. They're all from Brazil. And they were amazing. So our label put us in connection with Jay because Cruise heard us in South by Southwest. And so then they wanted to build this friendship so we can kind of blow up together. The idea was Cruise was Jay's band, and then we were with our label, and our label was going to join with Jay Baumgartner and make him a partner, and then blow up. And so we got offered this huge show to play at a strip club in LA, and man, I wanted to do it because the industry, you know, Jay everyone would have been there. It's like it's nothing for them, like strip clubs, you know, whatever. But I couldn't do it. And I had to tell my label, and I had to tell my managers, and I had to tell my bandmates I couldn't do it. And my wife didn't, it's not my wife telling me. My wife doesn't tell me you can't. It's me, it's my conviction. Yeah. It's not, my wife isn't in my ear saying what I can and cannot do. I lead my family. So I didn't do it, but it was also, you felt the okay, something's different about those. It wasn't a good difference, because when you do something for God in the industry, it's not unless they're really being open to the God, if the Holy Spirit's already moving on them, right? Say the Holy Spirit was moving on Jay individually, and then, you know, he saw that action and then God spoke to him. But a lot of times they're not moved by that. So they think of you like, oh, this dude, he's not with it. He can't do everything we'd like him to do. Right. And so, you know, that's when it gets a little difficult, because I do feel like I've lost over the years. If I would have been more carnal, you know, been more into whatever's going on, right, I probably would have advanced my career a lot further, but I didn't. And there's times where I do think about, like, you know, for example, partying with people is a big deal. If you party with the right people and you're doing the right moves, you're going to advance your career. I never did that. So part of me thinks like, man, what if I would have done that? I don't have regrets, but I do think about what there has to be a correlation to, you know, I don't want to network the wrong way, but how do you network now? Other than now, thank God we have social media. You don't need the connections really anymore. You just need to put yourself out there, and hopefully you develop friends and fans that will push you and help you advance. But so being a Christian, it was a little, you know, a little interesting, because I always wanted to be a witness. I always wanted to be a positive influence. But I do know that it can be a burden to people who don't understand that, because they think that you don't like them. Like, oh, you don't want to go to strip club with us? I got this all the time. What, you don't like women? You don't like boobs? And I'm like, boy, I got the hottest boobs in the world at home, man. My wife's got she got some, not, but that's what I'm saying. You get those comments, those jabs. Oh, you must be gay. Is that why? And so, but it's kind of how it is. That what Jesus said, that we would be mocked and persecuted. And that's not even persecution, bro. Come on. Like, that's nothing, really. There's people that really get persecuted. That's nothing. But yeah, it can be a challenge, but you got to just really remember why you're doing this.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
I did that whole speech for nothing.
Go back and do it again.
How long was I gone for?
No, it was like, I don't know, 5 seconds or so.
Okay. I heard everything you said.
Because I've done that. I've seen here. I sit and I'll be talking like, and I'll come back and watch the tape, and I'm like, "What the freak? No one heard me." All right.
No, I heard everything you said. So
right
hopefully
on.
Recorded.
Hey, if Mike heard everything, it's on there, man. Don't worry.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah.
I want to make sure my internet's working. It is. I have a separate internet in this room, so I should be.
Oh man, that's funny. No, it's probably me. You know, I'm using my satellite Starlink thing, so
right on. That's so cool.
Goes out, but it's all good. Yeah. So you know, you mentioned something a second ago, and I talked about it. You know, I do that as I see it or whatever. But
yeah,
I mentioned.
I love those, by the way, bro. Keep doing that.
Thanks.
You're doing great on that, man.
But you hit on you're the head of the household, and that is one that I talked about before. Kind of, what's your take on that type of thing?
You know, you can't be unequally, and I'm talking to Christians right here. This is like, a lot of people don't understand the Christian lifestyle, so it's foreign to them, and I think before they understand where Christian men come from, they get real judgy about us because they think we're being judgy. But you can't be unequally yoked to begin with. Like, you can't be you got to have a wife. This is why I tell my kids, you date to marry. Don't go out there screwing around. You wait to have sex until you're married. I know that's old fashioned, but there's a reason why God made it like that. And so you can't be unequally yoked, because if you are unequally yoked, if you're married to someone who doesn't have the same faith as you, as a believer in Jesus, then you're going to be married to someone that's going to always pull you away from your leadership role.
Yeah.
Now, my wife is Mexican from South Side San Antonio. She is hardcore. My wife will stab you, bro. But she lets me lead. She lets me lead. And if she has a conflict, like if there's something she doesn't agree with me on, she won't argue with me in front of the kids. We've been married 10 years. She won't argue with me in front of the kids. She'll pull me aside and we'll have a discussion about it. Now, there's been times where we kind of, but she's always let me lead. And I think as a man of God, you have to lead your family. You have to follow the teachings, how Jesus teaches us. And I try my best to do that every day. I'm not perfect, but I try to be the head of my household. I try and lead my family in prayer. I make sure that they understand how, because my kids think daddy's rich and daddy just gets money because he doesn't do anything. They don't understand the foundation I built the past 30 years, especially my two babies. My older kids, they understand because I was always touring. I was always gone. They understand. They took the brunt of me building my life, my 20-year-old kids. But my little 7 and 8-year-old kid, they don't see me go to work. They don't like, because I'm fortunate to be home a lot. And they just think money appears in my bank account. But they don't know I have to work. I got to play gigs. I got to be on the road. I got to be hustling all the time. Yeah. And so it making sure that they're provided for, making sure that they understand it's not me that's getting the money. God's blessing us. God's opening these doors, and I'm teaching them how to trust Jesus and to trust God. So it can be a challenge because the little ones don't understand. The older ones, now that they're older, I see it's a beautiful thing. And maybe you guys can relate to this. When you see your 20-somethings that are working, that are going to school, or trying to accomplish something in life, they get it now. They understand. Wow. All right. Dad understood what it meant to work hard. And I tell them
this isn't as easy as I thought it was. Yeah,
no, it's not. My son Elijah, he just turned 22 and he's a mechanic. And he just loves being a mechanic. That's his thing, dude. He's been working when he was a 15-year-old, 16-year-old. He was taking apart motors, little go-karts and little mini bike motors, and he was freaking rebuilding them. And he's a mechanic now. But he came home yesterday to pick up a box that got shipped here, and I love when my kids come back home, bro. I mean, it's like If they just come visit me for 5 minutes, man, I get to hug him. And I love it. And he comes and he's all dirty and just like tired. And he's like, "Hey, Dad." And I hugged him, and I always try and say a little prayer with my kids whenever I see him. But it makes you proud to think, yeah, he's trying, man. He's hustling.
Yeah.
And that's that's the whole role in trying to be a good leader and a good father. And again, all of us fail, man. I've blown it before, but the righteous fall 7 times, but they get back up, right? We got to get back up. And that's just what I keep doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, I got to tell you, as I go throughout my life, there's key people that I've always honed in on and stuff like that. And lately, I'll be honest with you, you've been giving a lot to me, man. I listen to your podcast, or not your podcast, but your live streams and the things that you got going on. It's really speaking to me. So thank you.
Right
Keep
on.
doing what you're doing.
Well, I want to tell you this, AJ. I really feel like you got a good thing going, and you have to, like, I know what it's like. You just got out of the Marines, right? You retired, and then it's like you're starting over again, and you're going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And that happened to me when COVID hit. I was like, what the freak am I going to do? I can't tour. I have a couple of businesses that are running, but they took hits, and it's hard to not have anyone there to help you. And man, I want to see you succeed. I want to see everyone succeed. That's the thing. It's like, I don't look at someone and think, oh, I hope they don't make it. I want to see everyone succeed. Like Noah. I love Noah. And Noah's an example of, here's the deal. You may not think someone's doing as well, right? You may, like, Noah probably thought I was doing great. And Noah probably thought I was killing it because he knew me from the times I was playing these major festivals, making 2-3 grand a show. He saw me I was on radio and television, and I was doing a lot of really cool things. So I think Noah may have not understood when I reached out to him in January, the place I was in, because I have a lot of success, but a lot of that success doesn't mean it's money. You can see guys on television, you can see guys hear them on the radio, you can see them doing these amazing things. It's called, there's a word for it, incidental fame. It's like being in the right place at the right time. Like, you can see someone on stage with another famous artist, and then you correlate them to making money or doing really well.
Yeah.
And I think Noah is a fan of my band that I can't say the name of because TikTok will flag me on it. But Noah's a fan of that band, and he's seen a lot of really great things. And he's like, he hired us to do this big festival for him 2 years ago. And he almost got fired because of it, because we're so heavy, but he's such a big fan of the band that he was like, I'm going to book them anyhow. And when I reached out to Noah, I was just kind of like desperate. And I was like, hey, if you got anything, throw it my way. I'll do solo shows. I'll freaking play my acoustic guitar. Just, I need to make some money. And he's like, what are you doing on April 22nd? And I said, nothing. And he's like, stand by. In his in his Marine Corps way, stand by. So I'm like, and then he texts me back, do you want to make $600? I know it's not a lot, but you'll be playing in front of 4,000 people. I was like, yes. And he put me on one of the biggest festivals in town in April. And the dude had no idea that I'm sitting here worried about what am I going to do next? And then Noah got a contract with one of the best companies I've seen in a while, where he's booking for them. And he's throwing me dates like all the time. And I'm like, yes, I'll take it. Cause I'm like, again, I'm in that place again where I can't afford to say no right now. I wasn't there a few years ago. I had money. I was touring. I had promoters wanted me to work for them. I was booking bands. I was making money here. My company was bringing in 40 grand a month. I didn't have to even work on that company. It was just residual income, 40 grand a month that company was making. And I was just killing it. And then when everything just went to crap, I was like, I got to say yes to anything I can take. And I was doing that. And, now, like, I get to see God's hand, because sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes I'm like, I got a $500 bill tomorrow that's due. And
Yeah.
what am I going to do? And sometimes an invoice gets paid early, because I got an invoice now for these shows, because it's a corporate gig. And I got to invoice Noah, and then Noah, and out of the blue, the money comes in, and it's like, thank God. So I'm kind of like in the, I 100% depend on Jesus, 100% depend on God to provide. At the same time, God has provided for me in so many different ways where I was really comfortable, to where I didn't have to worry about money, to now I'm like, all right, God, how you gonna do it? You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, Jesus. Cause before, man, I was guaranteed money every week.
Yeah.
You know, I had my company with Lowe's. I had the biggest brand in the country giving me contracts every single day. I didn't have to worry about anything with my contract company. With music, I was getting gigs and shows all the time. And
Yeah.
then now it's like, all right, I'm back here again, Lord. And here so that's what I'm sorry I took that long to just to tell you that I understand the feeling of starting over again.
Yeah.
And I want to, man, I want to see you succeed. And I think I didn't know. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk politics or anything, but I feel like I see you and me, little young buck over there, little young buck Lynnwood right there. Because you're a lot younger than me. So I think, man, look at that kid. Look at AJ out there. But you know, I want to see you succeed, bro. I want to see.
Well,
I don't
thanks.
like seeing people down.
I got to be honest. Whether I make money at this in the long run or not, it doesn't matter, because I'm already winning based off of what I said I wanted to do. I'm going out, veterans. I'm, getting their story out. It's building more and more every day, and that's really, for me, that's what it's about. Telling them
Right on.
and just just really trying to get that out there for everybody to see, because everybody has a very unique story. Just like your story is very unique. Not everybody goes out there and does those things. So the other I want to tell you is, you talk about faith and trusting in God and stuff like that. My dad was a minister, so he was a prison minister, and there were times that, like, we didn't know if we had enough gas to get to a place that he was going to go preach or something.
Wow.
And we just jump in the car and go and just hope, and they're made it a lot further than we should have on empty. How it made it there and back, I have no idea. Obviously God had a part in it, but
he did.
Things like that happen all the time, and my dad lived that way, man. He lived by faith, and he just said, no, hey, what God wants me to do is going to happen, So he went.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's an exciting life, bro. It's exciting. It's faith, and not a lot of people get to live that experience of walking in faith, man. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to.
I'm not there. I'll be honest. I'm not there. I can't. I stress out all the time. I'm stressed, but I know it'll work itself out.
It will.
Yeah, and that's human nature, that we all fear. I mean, it's the fear.
Yeah.
And we're afraid to just give in to faith at that point. But that's. I'm the same way, Andrew. I'm far from that point. I try, but I can't say that I'm by no means perfect at it.
Yeah.
I know when I'm talking to my wife, something will come up and I'm like, it'll work itself out. Something will happen. It'll be good. But in my mind, I'm like, oh my God.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, when COVID hit and I stopped touring and I stopped making money playing music, my credit score jumped up to like 830. And we got that remember they gave us that COVID money, the money they gave us. Well, my credit score jumped up. I sold my motorcycle because we've been wanting a swimming pool.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm gonna do it now. And I attacked it. I got the pool. And since COVID had just started, they lowered all their prices down and they were giving all the bells and whistles. So I got that pool, right? And then I wasn't making money. I was like, and I saw this thing pop up saying, rent your pool. And I said, I'll never rent my pool. That's disgusting. And then it got worse for me, bro. I lost my Lowe's contract with my company we had over here. We got moved from a GC to a sub. So that money stopped coming in as much. It was coming in, but not as much. So I said, I'm going to try this thing. So I did this. I applied for this little app thing, right? For renting pools. My wife and I took the money we had and we built an outdoor bathroom, sewer, everything. We made an outdoor bathroom. And we tried doing it the first year. And the first summer, dude, we did 17,000.
Wow.
Okay. Last summer, we did 27,000. This summer, we did over 30,000 just in the summer. And
wow.
This is how God works, bro. I live in a corner house, right? And I have a drive gate on the corner, and my yard is configured. You would have never, the way we have it configured, it wasn't even planned. We didn't do it purposely, but it's like God knew, okay, you're going to do this one day. So I'm going to work all these little tidbits out for you. And God provided in a way that I did not expect. Now let's rewind, because I know us three have the same experience. When I was in the Marine Corps, that was my life. I wanted to stay in. Like, I can't tell you how proud I was. I loved being a Marine. I had uncles who were Marines. I had a stepdad who was an Army. But when I was 10 years old, the little kid down the street, his dad, I went to his house one year. His name was Peter Eichstead, and his brother was named Mike Eichstead, and his dad was Mr. Eichstead. I don't know his first name, but we went into his house one day, and I looked above his freaking chimney. This is a memory of mine. That this is probably one of the main things that pushed me to be a Marine. I looked up when his dress blues were encased with his NCO sword above his chimney, and that was wow. And so when I joined, I wanted to be a lifer, but when I was going to get out, that was the hard part. And I don't know if y'all went through this, but when I was planning to get out, everyone would tell me, why are you going to get out? What are you going to do? How are you going to make it? You can't make it. There's no, like, I would be told I was dumb for getting, I got offered a new contract, and I wanted to be force reconnaissance like everyone else. And I was qualified for it, but the Marine Corps came back and offered me crash fire rescue. And I thought that was cool. I was like, crash fire rescue? Because I was already a hazmat first responder. So I thought, crash fire rescue, that's so cool. But I had to follow my gut feeling to get out. And when I got to Separations Company in Camp Pendleton, this one kid was with me. I don't know how, I don't know if he was getting out, but it's funny because if he was getting out, why was he giving me a hard time? But this dude was giving me a hard time about getting out and how I wasn't going to amount to anything. And, but that's Egypt. That was my Egypt. The Marine Corps was my Egypt. I was comfortable. It was easy for me. I liked it. But I had to step out. And the life of faith, man, that's why I love it. The faith.
If there's one thing in this podcast, we definitely can tell everybody a life of faith. That's the podcast here.
Yeah.
Talking about. So it's all good. Oh man. Dude, I'm so stoked that you're able to do this with me. Come on.
I am too, man.
We need to do some more live stream stuff together at some point in time. Figure something out.
I got this thing right here. I have this little thing. Because like I'd like to do this more with you. And oh shoot, what's this? There's stop. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure this out. I want to show you this. It's a really cool device I have here, and you can hear some of the stuff we can do. But I forgot what number. Oh, there. There it is. Like this little machine right here.
Yeah.
Like you can like tell a joke, and then be like,
and it has the laughter and all that stuff.
It has all kinds.
I can change my voice with it.
Oh God.
I can change my voice.
I love it.
I can make it real.
Hello.
It's a little thing I got for live streaming, and when I perform, it's a looper. But there's a lot of interesting things on here that I've been trying. I've been trying to utilize it and incorporate it. Well, just ideas, and you're always thinking. But I want to do this again with you, man. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I've got to be honest. One thing that I love about when you go live and stuff, your voice is incredibly unique, and I love it when you're talking or whatever, and you're.
Oh yeah, got to get down, baby. That's okay, because touring with my band, our live show was that high energy and just getting down preaching. I get down and start preaching. Come on, let me tell you something about you. And I start preaching, and so that's like my performance voice.
Yeah.
And I like doing that. That's just my thing, man. I love it.
Here's what I want to do with you. If you're open to it, I want to use your voice at the beginning of my podcast to,
bro, let's do it. I'll make a recording for you.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to come up with something though. We'll put you on there.
Let me show you what my buddy did for me. Watch.
Yeah.
This is my buddy. He does voiceovers, and so he made this for me. Watch.
Brothers and sisters.
Hold on, I got to get the tempo right. All right, here we go.
Brothers and sisters, coming from his studio located in the great state of Texas, the undeniable, irresistible, bearded mic slinger, the hardworking man himself, Lynnwood Wesley King.
I love it.
Oh, just stop it. Stop it. That's my little intro. I've been using that since COVID. I had that just kind of parked there, and but we can do something like that. I added the applause and I added the music in there.
Yeah, we'll get together and have you for something for the beginning of my podcast.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. And I got music you could use, whatever, man. It'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, you have. We won't mention the band, but the albums that you have out are incredible.
Thank you. I see.
Search it up. I don't know.
I see my buddy Gooley. He's my bass player. He jumped in there. He's on my live stream right now. He may have left. I don't know. But, the band, I'm so proud of that band.
Yeah.
And there's real quick before I break out, let me just tell you about music in like the way the music is right now. So when I perform solo gigs alone, I pay all my musicians that play with me expect me to pay them. Like if I do a Lynnwood King show, they expect to make money. And I'm just going to say it. The Heroin, when we would tour, we're partners. Like those guys that I pay, they don't understand what I go through. They don't understand the risk and they don't understand the heartache, the letdown, or the exuberation of joy when something great happens to your band. Whereas the Heroin, these guys were, we would be on tour together for 3 weeks making zero money at first. We would be happy just to not even have to buy gas. If the tour covered everything on the like expenses were met on the tour, we were happy. And then there were times where we did have to pitch in at the very start, at the very beginning. It was, so these guys in the Heroin have a different outlook on what it means to perform live. And I think that's what brought so much success. And what comes to the recordings is we've, as a band, have experienced so much pain together, failure together, and then so much success together that it comes across in our stage performance. But these guys would never, we would rarely make money. Like it took forever for us to finally get paid $1,000 to play a show. Yeah. $2,000 was like, wow. But when you're hiring guys to play with you, it's not the same. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to leave that little word out there because I saw my buddy jumped on here, and it can be discouraging when you're in a touring band that is, you're in this is your band, and success isn't coming like it used to. Whereas if it's a solo thing, if you're a hired gun, doesn't matter. They give my money. As long as I get my money, I don't care. Just give me my $100. You know what I mean? And so that, I think that comes across in the recordings too, and in the live show.
Yeah.
Music, you know, music's such a hard, it's a hard life, but it's all passion. Like my wife would say, it's all gas. You just got to have it, and you got to go all in with it. And that's what we do. That's what I try and do all the time. Yes, sir.
I love it. Give me the.
I'll work. It's been a minute. The Heroin hasn't played a show since June 2nd. And
Really?
I've been playing, like, I play almost every day on my solo stuff, because I try and live stream every day. But we just haven't. A lot of it is we're just, I think we're being lazy. You know, when you're like we can play a set with our eyes closed. You know, we can, if you call me tomorrow and say, hey, wait, I need you to be on television here in LA, come on, the band would fly out there and we'd be ready to go. It wouldn't be like, and we have the songs. I just think right now it's kind of like burnout, maybe some burnout, and that Semper Fi, brother. I have a Marine that jumped on here. I don't know if you can see it. Ambient Melancholy. This is my buddy AJ. He's Master Gunner Sergeant. But yeah, give him a follow, man. We're gonna try and do co-host some podcasts, or at least co-host on TikTok once in a while, man. But follow his page. He's a good man.
Thank you.
I got a break, man. I got my kids. We're gonna go vote. Go vote, y'all. Listen, I don't care who you vote for. I kind of do, but you know, vote who you want to vote for. But get out there and vote. And here's the thing. I promised in 2016, I was a little arrogant. I went around bragging about how my guy won. And in 2020, I ain't gonna say anything. I was depressed. I've been depressed for 4 years. I'm still getting over it. But you know, if my guy wins, I'm gonna be real humble about it. I'll tell you that. I'm gonna say that. But if your girl wins, you be humble about it too.
You know that happen.
Let's try and both be humble. But go vote. I'm gonna take my kids to go vote right now, man. AJ, I love you, brother.
Thanks for coming on, man. Truly
thank you.
It.
Thank you, bro.
Doing the co-hosting with me and stuff on the TikTok as well. So it's pretty cool.
Right on. I got a break. How do I end this? Do I just push this button?
For the Zoom?
Yeah.
Yeah, just hit end or whatever, and then that'll take you out.
All right, I'll see y'all later, man. God bless you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
It's good stuff. Well, I got a couple of TikTokers. There's one called Michael McNanny. He's there. So
yeah, that's me.
Oh man,
I heard he's a bad person.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Gotta do what you gotta do, I suppose.
Somebody called him Marvelous Mary or something. I don't know. I can't believe that.
Marvelous Mary.
Magical or something.
Magical. Yeah. There's a lot of M's that go along with him. Yeah. Well, what do you got? You got to go back to work?
I got a whole bunch of computer work I got to get done here. So I've been lazy and complacent, not getting it done. So
what are you going to do, right?
This is true.
Well, I guess I better do my tag ending here, and then I'll close out my TikTok thing too. Yeah. So this is for TikTok and for my podcast. Say it again.
I was going to say I appreciate you letting me come on. He was pretty amazing. It's fun to listen to him.
Yeah, he's a fun guy, man.
Pretty inspiring, and you know, I was going to say, but I didn't want to cut in on it. But you know, he kept saying he doesn't want to see anybody fail.
Yeah,
and that is a trait that you don't find much in society anymore. Everybody's jealous of another person, and well, how do they afford that? It's like, can't you just be happy for somebody?
Yeah, you're right.
Know, just be happy for them. You know, all it is jealousy.
Yeah, very true.
You know, how do they get to do this? How do they get to do that? How can they afford that? It's like, who cares?
Yeah,
just be happy for them.
Buddy. Yeah. It's probably not easy. You're looking at somebody that's being, successful or whatever. You're like, dang, I wish that was me, type of thing.
Yeah, it's jealousy. It's envy. It's like, why can't I do that? Well,
yeah.
You could if you looked at it in a different way. You know, it's just,
yeah.
Put
in the work, like he said, you know, he put in a lot of extra work.
Well, that's just it. He put in the work. And I think that's, you know, I don't claim to be, do I believe in God? Yes. Do I claim to be as spiritual as I should be? No.
Yeah.
But, and that's one thing that I was always taught to me, even as a kid, by my grandparents. But, you know, and through the years talking with people is God's going to give you the opportunities.
Yeah.
But he didn't create you just to put your hand out and he's going to lay it in your hand. He's going to give you the opportunities, but you have to put in the work. The expectation is he gave you that ability to work, to do it. You're the one that has to earn the opportunity. It's not free.
That is very true. Yeah. And it's difficult. That no matter what task it is, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to just be perfect, easy go, you know.
Well, and that's the society we live in, and just in general. I'm not saying in certain ways, but you know, now it's everything's so easy. We have convenience, you know, instant access. You know, we've gotten selfish to the fact that, well, I can do this and I can order this and I'll have it today or tomorrow, or I can do. It's like, well, it's not. In the big picture, life isn't really that easy, and that wasn't how it was designed to be. We seem to think as humans it is, but it isn't.
Yeah. I mean, it really, if there's anything worth having, it's, you know, if it's just given to you, you don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
But if you work at it, it's definitely appreciated at the end.
Yeah, it's like the first car you bought, you know.
Oh yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, I had this truck. I saw it every day, and I said, "My dad," I said, "Man, I want that truck. You know, if you get it for me, I'll pay you back." And he's like, "I'm not buying you anything." He said, "When you get it, you get it. I'm not buying you anything." He never did. First vehicle I ever bought was when I was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember my dad said, he said, I'll do the down payment, like the first, but he's like, I ain't doing nothing else. Everything else. And, you know, it's going to be in your name. You got to pay for the gas. And he put me on his insurance, but I had to pay him, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
But he was like, I'll do the down payment. So we went and looked at brand new vehicles, and I looked at the payments and I was like, that ain't happening. So I found some Chevy S10 that was being resold, old Chevy S10. I was like, I'll take that one. That was more along the lines of what I can afford. So
yeah,
I drove that for years and years and years. It was a good truck.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's just it. You know, even the first vehicle I had, you know, you respected the heck out of it because every time you look at it, man, I washed that baby in 29 Palms every weekend. Man, that baby was washed, waxed it every other week. Park as far away from everybody. Everybody used to laugh at me and say, "Why do you park so far away?" I was like, "I don't want anybody smacking it. I don't want anybody touching it. You're not touching."
Worked hard for that.
Yeah.
Mess it up.
But you don't realize it if somebody else gives it to you. It's like, whatever. You know?
Yeah. That's true. It's a good point. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and close this one out. You got any words of wisdom for everybody?
No, not today.
No words of wisdom.
Well, maybe word of wisdom. Words of wisdom. I'll go back to Lynnwood. You know, hey, just be happy for other people.
That's good. That's words of wisdom.
I'll steal his words. He said it more than once. So just be happy for other people.
Yeah, I like it. All right. To all the listeners out there, if you're struggling, you need some help, anything like that, don't forget the VA does have some great resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can text 838-255, or you can go to veteranscrisisline.net. Click on the chat icon. Any of those options will put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life loss is one too many. I care about you. Mike cares about you. I know Lynnwood cares about you. So please reach out for help. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, go ahead and reach out to the buddies that you serve with and ask them how they're doing. And if they need help, give them that helping hand. All right. With that, Mike, thanks. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
To all the listeners out there, stay motivated. Change your socks.
And vote.
Oh, yeah. Go vote. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
And vote.